And welcome back to Nate Davis Disc Golf's coverage of the Massasauga Open, coming to you from Hudson Mills Metro Park in Dexter, Michigan. We are here for round two. I am Noah in the studio with my boys, Kevin and Chili. Gentlemen, how goes it today?
It's going good. We're excited to get back into this action. There's a locked up at the top. We'll see what happens. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm interested to see this curated selection of Monster Course holes and a couple of new faces today as well.
Yeah, if you watched our first round coverage, we jumped back and forth with some temporary holes added, but we will be playing what you didn't see from the Monster Course. And if you don't know, 48 beautiful holes of disc golf here in Dexter, Michigan.
And challenging, too.
Yes. Wide variety, multiple tees, multiple baskets on some holes. Let's take a quick look at our leaderboard after 18. And we got Cody Sears, 122, 121. Missed out on a really cool number there. And we got Luke Taylor, our youngest competitor. And next, Josh Taylor, Luke's dad. So father-son combo. That is cool to see. And rounding out our lead card, we have Taylor Walton.
So our starting hole here is going to be Monster Hole 3. This is a pretty difficult starting hole. It's got a very tight fairway leading up, and then you've got a bit of a landing zone here, and you're going to be needing to land at the short basket.
A little father-son pick. Why wouldn't they? That is some cool stuff there.
Yeah, it's had fun, boys.
Sure.
Yeah, and then we got two team aeronautics here. These guys, Cody and Taylor.
Interesting. Little Discraft Aeronautics shootout here.
Team Aeronautics versus Team Taylor.
Yeah, I had the pleasure hanging out and playing against those guys a couple weekends ago in a kind of fun event.
Okay. So we've got Josh lining up a Raptor forehand here. Seems to be through the prescribed gap. It's a little bit too strong. He didn't fade in there early enough, but that bush is in the circle.
Has a smooth forehand there.
Yeah, he's going to have a tough obstructed putt there, but it should be an easy 3-easy from there.
This is one of the challenges of the forehand on this hole that I feel like they have the backhand got there as well, but he seems to be excited about it. Is trying to get it to fade in at the basket. That bush is right in the way of a really well thrown forehand shot.
Yeah, you really got to spike it in there if you want to park it under the basket.
Yeah.
And it's still got to get lucky.
Yeah, and then that brings that skip right into contention, and now you don't have a very good putt either. So seems
let's go.
Seems
Long
like
one
Luke
here
has
for
got
Luke.
the right idea here.
Yeah.
Just end it short and make a great putt.
Right, yeah, he's just carrying over right where he left off from round one.
Absolutely.
Air ball there. It's all right. Should be an easy comeback.
A little bit high for two.
He was trying to get it, just overdid.
Wow, okay.
Team Taylor with the birdies.
Yeah, father-son from about the same spot.
Very similar drives, very similar putts. It's interesting to note that they didn't play the long basket on this hole. I'm thinking probably for delays. You don't want to have your course getting delayed on the first hole.
Yeah. Also, it's a very blind shot. Might have been a safety issue in play.
Yeah, they decided just to play the long layout, no champs on this round for some reason.
Also, the champs are not exactly well maintained on this course.
Not always.
Yeah.
No.
So some of them are just kind of feel like an afterthought.
Definitely. Here we are coming up to Monster Hole 4. It's a 290-foot par 3. It definitely favors the right-handed backhand shot that just kind of pushes straight, high up in the air and kind of fades right around 275, 280 feet. It is aceable and definitely birdieable.
Yeah, also worth noting that this hole is not as tight as it appears from our camera angles. It is not a 6-foot fairway like it looks from this tee spot right here. There's some room.
And they've done some grooming lately.
But the one part that the camera does get right is it does require a nice, firm, confident, flat shot through the gap that doesn't deviate from that brightest white spot that you can see there on the camera downrange.
I like it a lot.
There's a good play. Yeah, you got to carry just a little deep of this corner and then break hard just to tuck it in.
It's very difficult to get yourself in the bullseye of this hole. most birdies are going to be had from between Luke and Josh here.
Yes, sir.
What
Yeah,
a
this young man, he
gutsy
can
putt.
putt.
Yeah. Had nothing but air back there. And
I like
decided
that
to
one.
load up.
Another
Here's
long
May.
birdie. Ooh, Cody just not enough on it, but it was a good run.
Probably the best looking tee shot, but again, it just carried a little bit long there, and that kind of makes that a difficult putt.
All right, and 3 out of 4 card the birdies with some not exactly gimme putts, so that's always nice to see.
Josh showing some skills with that wheel down.
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
comeback 3 putts can be really nerve-wracking, if not downright difficult.
Yeah.
on
Also,
this hole.
there are some treacherous slopes just outside of Circle 1 on this. You can end up rolling away pretty easily on this hole.
Yeah, if Luke's putt doesn't go in here, he's looking at a 30, 40 footer through some serious branches. Monster 5's not actually the shortest hole we're going to play on the course, but it's 230 feet. Not too much difficulty here either way. You can throw it down the left gap. The right gap obviously has a lot more room. These guys are probably just going to play floaty putter shots or something with a zone.
Yeah, this is a long up shot for these guys.
Yeah, the challenge on this hole is to not run the ace, right? Because you need it to sit down when it gets there.
Absolutely. An ace run on this hole is 40, 50 feet deep with no putt. Luke going for the flex over stable shot there. I think that's his zone. Looks great.
Yeah, that CTP there is it's not parked. I mean, it's parked, but usually you expect something leaning on the pen here.
A bit of a leaner. There's a nice backhand shot, utilizing the whole hallway of distance that you've got there, and that's slid in perfectly. Great shot from Taylor.
Oh, and just a little tree direction there. Shouldn't be a difficult comeback row. There's one birdie putt. So drop him at double digits under par.
Staying on the pace is our leader.
2 birdie putts. And another double digit under par.
Yeah, this hole and the next hole are definitely what you would consider in the absolutely must-get category.
Yeah, par on this hole in the MPO field is just as good as a bogey.
Painful.
Yes.
Yeah, these are par twos.
Yeah, this and the next hole coming up. Or die. The proverbial deuce or die, if you will.
I don't know, the way the competition is nowadays, I feel like there's so many of them.
It's just
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
better and better.
The deuce or die moniker extends out much farther than any of us in this room are comfortable with.
Right.
True.
Now on to the shortest hole on the Monster course. It is Monster 6, par 3, 190 feet, just under 200. It does have a little bit more technicality to the previous hole, but the distance makes it much easier to throw. Got Luke electing for the...
Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting. Didn't see that coming.
I think that was a Zone OS.
Yeah, it didn't exactly pay off either, but it's all right. He's young. He's got a lot of bogeys and probably a lot more birdies in his lifetime coming up.
That one went right.
Well, the
by
way
the-
he putts, you never know.
Right.
He's not out of it yet.
This is amazing. Everybody's going for him.
Yeah, that's interesting because this is just a standstill putter shot for me.
I have aced this hole back.
Do you play it from the longs, Noah?
Yeah, I play Doug's league. He is not favorable.
No.
He makes everybody play longs. He makes Doug's sadistic. And
Sorry,
we love
I
it.
gotta
We
get
love
those.
it. No, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, these guys are leaning to the forehand here because that backhand shot, you can throw a 98% perfect backhand shot and still hit that tree and not have a good putt.
Yeah, you can bounce all different directions
Yeah.
over here.
That tree that's just in the view there is pretty much exactly where the perfect hybrid backhand shot comes in.
It's a good putt by Cody.
Oh, yeah.
These guys all showing why they threw forehands to stay away from that tree and give themselves nice, easy putts.
Yes, sir.
Again, though, at 190 feet, this is really expected to be routine. And you can see there that, they're not all absolute gimmies, and that's why you got to play them. And it looks like the guys are going to get one here on Luke.
Got a little score separation. Wouldn't expect that on a little dinker, right?
Nope.
So, yeah, 3 out of 4 birdies, just like our last hole. And those are definitely the 2 easiest holes we're going to see today.
For sure. Just a little look at that.
Some players might argue with you about that being easy.
Yeah, right.
Coming into Monster Hole 7, now we are done with the short holes. This hole is, it's pretty long at 425 feet, but it seems like a very demanding tee shot off of the tee pad. You very much have to commit to this. You've got to be confident. You've got to hit it strong if you're going to have a chance to not hit one of these early trees and give yourself a look for the 2, most of which come from being over the top of this hole.
Oh, and that one is too low. Oh, it looks like it kicked back out for him there.
Yeah, we got a good view of how tight this hole is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
And
little
you can
room
see
for error.
he's in the gap there, but because it was too low, he's not going to have a very easy look at the putt. Let's see if Josh can keep this one a little higher.
A little wide.
And that's the sacrifice you make. He got the height, but he had to push it a little bit farther to the right to get that to happen.
Oh, and that is unfortunate there. It looks like it was just a little bit early on the release, and he's going to be in some trouble right off the tee. He didn't even make it to the short pad.
Very techie shot there from him. I mean, I hate to say that that's about as good as he could have done from being short of that tee pad there,
Yes.
not being in more trouble than he started in.
So far out of position, it makes it difficult.
That was a tough one, but he did what he could.
Josh with a turnaround there was a little bit short, and it seems that Cody's going to be a little bit short on his as well.
Come on.
Josh is throwing 3, needing this to sit close.
Set himself up.
That was a beautiful shot right
Luke for a 100-foot save.
Go on, young one. He almost got some.
there. Take your tap in bogey, young man.
No, not so
That
bad.
could have easily turned into a worse score.
Yep, for sure. Take your medicine, move on, try again on the next hole.
Good save.
Yeah, that tree, that bush there gobbles up some discs sometimes and leads to some crooked scores.
Yeah, the worst is you get a roll back into that.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
definitely
for
been
positioning's sake, that par is a birdie right now because Luke just is going to have a birdie best case, bogey best case here.
Yeah. It's very daunting coming back at that putt too.
Yeah, this is not a fun green. There's really no place on this green where you really enjoy taking a putt from. You're either significantly under the basket or you're, shooting back towards the basket with a significant drop off.
Yes. You can end in that shrub we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Taylor is suffering from what we all fear on this hole. Going back
And he's
to
going
the
from the knee.
Trying to mitigate that downhill risk on a possible miss.
And never doubt, double bogey. Unfortunate. We are dropping several strokes back from our lead, but still a lot of golf left.
Yeah. That's tough to see, but this is one of the tougher holes, again, just because that tee shot is so demanding.
Yeah, and even when you do throw a good one, you catch the late stuff.
Or the bush at the bottom. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to throw an exceptional drive here to get a 2, in my opinion. Great drives don't make it. Exceptional ones do.
Showing a good putt by Cody there.
Yep, that's our par birdie save, right? So this is the long Monster 8. We're playing from the long pad here to the short basket, so it's 310 feet, par 3. Basically, you want to try to avoid this very rough on the left-hand side here, staying in the bright part. Obviously, ideally, he's going to be left with that large tree there that he just threw to the right of. Very straight shot, slowly fading in. Something like that.
Ooh, yeah, we just missed that.
Yeah, nice shot.
That's what that one by inches. Yeah. Definitely in the circle.
Yeah, it seems like he kind of powered down on a faster disc there. Ended up working out great for him. That's the hit point of a really good shot, but it just drifted a little bit left on him. He needed to hit that a little bit harder to hold it straight.
A little low hover shot. Yeah, not enough ground action there, but I take that back. It kept going.
Yeah, it slid right up there. Just a pitch out.
That's a smart play. This is definitely, this left-hand rough on this hole is one of those roughs where it's almost never worth being tempted into trying to throw to the basket from there.
Just the day before this, I was taught a lesson on this one. Got the pitch very similar to Taylor's.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was unfortunate at the time. It was near the end of our round.
Mm-hmm. Starting to run out of gas there.
That's tough.
Go there. Seems like we're not gonna have.
Taylor with back bogeys there. Very unfortunate.
Seems like Josh may be the only one getting away with one here.
That's a good move for him.
That ground action, Noah had a good call there. When that touched the ground, that was going to be well short. He
It
skipped
was.
80, 85 feet there, skittering around the dry, grass there. Moved him all the way up. That was nearly bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just kept hovering.
a lot just happened on that hole. It's amazing because it seems like a pretty straightforward hole, but there's a lot of technicality to it.
Absolutely. Moving into Monster Hole 9, this is a bit of a distance checker. It's a 410-foot hole. It's not particularly hard in any aspect, but when the wind comes up, there's nothing to block the wind for you. So tailwind shots can be tough to try to get them there, and headwind shots can be tough to manage the overstability of the disc. So let's see how these guys tackle it this time.
Yeah, and speaking of that wind there, you can't really tell from just being here on the tee,
Turn it
but
over.
this is right on the edge of the course where the rest of the park really opens up and some wind can really whip in here.
Yeah, soccer fields to the left
Yeah.
here.
About 8 soccer fields.
Yeah, just
So there
right.
are no trees
Right.
just to the left of this tree line. Luke's trying to flex one hard down the left side there. It looks like the wind gave it a little bit of a rise on him.
Yeah, you have to be careful on this hole too because the rough is really punishing. All these bushes.
Yeah, Cody.
He doesn't have to worry
Shot
about
it.
that.
Wow.
Great shot, Cody.
Yeah, that was perfect. It's probably worth noting too that despite what it may look like, the rough deep left is much easier to contend with than almost anything on the right side.
Yeah, as long as you're not too early.
Yeah, and so while it might have looked like Luke totally shanked that, he's actually quite safe over here where he's just going to pop a shot over these trees and have a very easy 3-shot. So while he may not be getting a 2, he's definitely not going to be adding to a score either.
Cody, hard in the birdie.
Two.
Great shot. Cody, what a forehand. That stayed straight for such a long time.
Yeah, that's a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
These guys will just finish up their power.
You can tell it's definitely breezy, and it's not a consistent breeze because these guys are really starting to take their time, even with the 10, 12, 15 footers.
And what kind of bag is this here on Taylor's can?
That's a squatch.
Squatch.
That is the Squatch Legend bag.
Those are pretty sweet. They got
Yeah,
the
no, I like it.
insertable coolers on for each side.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Very
but
cool.
you got to shell out like $300 to get one.
Ah,
They are
Be
not
prepared.
cheap. Moving on to Monster Hole 10. This is a 355-foot shot that is perfectly framed up by these 2 mature pines. Anything goes, really. You're going to see a lot of right-handed backhand spike hyzer shots. Beforehand is possible, and lefties have a good time down that straight shot.
Position is key here. Those 2 guard trees really will affect your putts.
Absolutely. Anything that's not, 15, 18 feet away is going to be a very challenging putt. You want to have most of the flight of your disc be over the tall grass, I would say, and have the disc enter the short grass at the far rightmost boundary of it so that you can get the maximum skip. Luke's shot is looking perfect.
Yes, sir. Nice shot, bud.
right in there.
Just playing it wide. Got it flipped over.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a good bit too straight. That pine tree is going to make that challenging. If you don't get that upshot close, he did that, so he won't have that bogey look. He'll have a nice easy par.
Yeah, just had to lay out. Josh has a low chance here. low putt. He has a chance.
Has a low comma chance. And that again illustrates, you know, he would probably be comfortably putting from there with a high percentage to make, but these trees are right up to the top of it. And again,
Pretty
look
putt
at
from the knee.
that. 12 feet away. Luke is still working from the knee there to try to get under that branch.
Yeah, the definition of a low ceiling in inside circle one.
Yeah, and from any angle here, you move out further.
Yeah, 360 degrees of these two trees covering this basket out for sure. Here's another look at Luke's textbook throw there. Onto hole 11 on the Monster. This is 380 feet. It definitely seems to play farther than that, mostly due to these two pine trees here. Getting past those two pines is pretty difficult to do on any kind of shaped shot. So basically you're looking to get one past there and give yourself a circle 2 or at best circle 1 look.
Yeah, from the long tee, it kind of takes the play around the right side out, unless you really gamble with those trees.
Seems like Luke felt like he had the perfect move on that. It was just a little bit low.
Yeah.
Same deal from Cody there. See if the backhanders have a better chance.
It's got to get low under this.
Yeah, that's great. That had the right pattern on it. It seems like it kind of gets lost there to the right, but once you get to the past that yellowish looking green tree up there on the right, it's fairly clear until the dark pine.
That's the theme on these. There's, what, 3 or 4 holes here where these pines really give you that low ceiling.
Yep, the main focus of the hole. Very flat shot.
Oh,
Whoa, that was from downtown.
yeah, I got a little excited there. Easy tapping coming after that.
Josh here, 4 or 5 steps out of circle 1, I'd say.
There's like 3 of those today.
On the right side of the cage. Was looking good.
Oh,
So yeah, again, just circling back on kind of the main challenge of this hole is, you know, if you don't make it past those two kind of first guardian pines, the last 100 feet of this hole will give you a bogey.
Yeah, that's different.
Cody again staying clean there with the par, not losing anything, not gaining anything. He's got 2 strokes on the tailors.
yeah, so let's take a look at our leaderboard here after 9. Cody's still in the lead with Team Taylor still tied up at a familiar name, George Bino, clawing his way into 4th place. Won't get to see him on coverage today, but Bino's a great guy. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the father-son out there battling. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a little bit of a rivalry between the two of them.
All
They're
right.
both at that level.
Oh yeah, so yeah, guys, when we come back, we'll be checking out holes 12 through 14, and if that doesn't make sense to you, that's because there are multiple alternate level holes. But hey, guys, before we get out of here, you guys want to add anything?
Nope.
Yeah, get on the channel and like, share, subscribe, and check us out for the back 9.
Yeah, guys, we will be back momentarily with our final 9 from the Massasauga Open. And in the meantime, get out and throw, because you never know where your next throw may take you.